everyone, welcome back to my channel. You guys have been asking for a video like this for a very long time. Yesterday was actually mine and Jonathan's 1-year wedding anniversary, so I thought this would be a perfect time to come out with our wedding video. I post a lot of pictures on my Instagram kind of showing you guys the little elements of Harry Potter that we incorporated into our wedding, and a lot of people have questions about that stuff and want to know like everything that I did and how I did it. So I decided to make a video about our wedding. To start off with, I just have to say that our wedding was not all Harry Potter. I just wanted to incorporate little bits of Harry Potter that were really subtle throughout the entire wedding, that weren't like screaming like house colors or like Hufflepuff or like anything like that. I thought that that was a little too much. I wanted to be very elegant and just a little bit of Harry Potter, you know, get that vibe. And also, Jonathan isn't a crazy Harry Potter fan like I am. He puts up with it and didn't want our wedding to be all about Harry Potter, which is totally understandable. That's why I also just did a couple things. So I'm going to show you guys all of the things that I incorporated into our wedding to make it a little more magical. So I am starting completely from the beginning. I'm sorry in advance if this is a long video, but you guys wanted to know about our wedding, so I am sharing it with you. From the beginning, our engagement, the way Jonathan did this was actually Harry Potter-y, which was really cute because I wasn't sure if he was going to do that since he doesn't really like Harry Potter as much as I do. You guys have seen this in pictures and everything, but he did propose to me using Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. He wrapped it up and he actually gave it to me in my Harry Potter room, so it was just a very magical moment. And pretty much he cut open the book. I've seen stuff like this on Pinterest before, but he cut it open so that it was on the unbreakable vow, and then tied my engagement ring to this little string so that when I opened it, it was hanging there. So starting with our engagement, it was already Harry Potter-y, and I thought that was just the cutest thing ever. And this book, I am going to be mentioning it again later on, so that's why I wanted to go all the way back to the engagement, because this book actually plays a role in our wedding as well. From the actual engagement to our engagement pictures are still my favorite pictures I have ever seen, I have ever taken. They will forever be my favorite thing in the world. We took normal engagement pictures with, like, I wore like a black lacy dress that I thought was witchy looking because I really like that vibe. So in our engagement pictures we took normal ones, but we also took Harry Potter ones. So since me and Jonathan both have our full cloaks and our wands and everything, we got fully dressed up in our cloaks, scarves, and ties, our wands, and we went to a location that our photographer had recommended that was very woodsy, and it had all these, what do they call it, all these redwood trees, and there was a little wood bridge, and it was just perfect. Like, these pictures are incredible that we took, and they are my favorite thing. Jonathan hates when I post these pictures because he's obviously, like I said, not super into Harry Potter, so he was more kind of embarrassed about doing it, but he did it, and they're my favorite pictures ever. So that was the second thing that we incorporated into our wedding, and those also went on our save the dates, were the Harry Potter pictures along with some of our normal pictures as well. The next thing before the wedding that I made Harry Potter like was when I asked all of my girlfriends to be in my wedding as bridesmaids or my maid of honor. I actually found t-shirts on Etsy. This is mine, but they had these and I thought they were perfect. I got them other shirts that weren't Harry Potter related too, but these ones were my favorite. So this is mine. It says bride on it with the lightning bolt, and then the back says, I solemnly swear that I am up to no good. So all of my girlfriends that were in my wedding did receive a shirt like this that either said bridesmaid or maid of honor. So that was another way that I incorporated Harry Potter. I got my inspiration from Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows in the part 1 when Fleur and Bill get married. Their wedding was lots of purples. It was like darker purples and lots of lavender, light purples, and then she had a dress that was white and then had black on it, and it was like a peacock wrapped around it, and it was just gorgeous. So that was kind of the vibe that I was really inspired from. But when we were picking out our colors and flowers and everything, I wanted our colors to be purple, black, and white. So Throughout the whole reception area where we had the plates and the centerpieces and everything, we had some white flowers, and then in the center of them, which I'll be showing you guys a picture, we found these like twig branch looking things, and I think a lot of people have done this before at their weddings, but what we did was we had them paint them black so they kind of looked like they were dead branches, and I thought that that just added something that was a little more witchy feeling to it. And then our napkins and everything were 2 different shades of purple. We had light purple and then we had a darker purple, so it was every other chair had that. And it was the same with the bows that were on the back of the chairs, is they were light purple and dark purple going back and forth. Alright, so getting into some of my favorite items that I actually found, and most of these things, I think actually all of these things that I used for our wedding were bought off Etsy. I don't know the names of all these shops on the top of my head, so I will be linking everything down below. And I just want to say, every shop that I did use to get my Harry Potter stuff for the wedding, they were amazing to work with. They were very sweet people, and I highly recommend it if you are planning a wedding that you want to be Harry Potter inspired or any kind of other like book inspired. They do a lot of different things. I highly recommend these shops, so I will make sure to link all of them down below. First thing that I knew I wanted from the beginning was a cake topper that said one of my favorite quotes, which is, "After all this time, always." And so that's what we found. I found this gold cake topper that kind of went with our vibe, because there were some other ones, but I really liked this one. And it's just super pretty and simple, and so our cake was also just like the purples and the whites, but I thought that this was really pretty and simple and just added a little bit of Harry Potter-y to the cake. During the ceremony, before everyone was getting seated and just kind of hanging out trying to find their seats, and I was still inside with the rest of the wedding party, we had music playing. I think that's pretty normal to play music while everyone's getting seated, and what I did was I found some music off of YouTube actually that is the songs that they play in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios. So that whole soundtrack that you hear in the park when you're walking through, and it's just like a bunch of Harry Potter songs, I had that playing outside while everyone was being seated. I wanted just that music, makes me really happy. I couldn't think of any other music anyways that would sound good while you're being seated besides like a soft jazz or something like that, but I didn't really want that. I'll also link down below for you guys, because whenever I'm even just like sad or missing Universal Studios, I literally go to this song and I just listen to it because it's amazing. Before people sat down at the ceremony, we had 2 wine barrels on either side of the aisle, and we had little glass jars. In those jars we had our wedding favors. So instead of giving out our favors at the end of the wedding, we actually gave them out right in the beginning at the ceremony, because I had a special plan for these guys. I got all of these off Etsy. The girl that I worked with does weddings a lot, so she was able to make them in bulk, and surprisingly the price was not crazy. I've seen a lot of Etsy shops that the prices are really high, and so I was getting really discouraged that I wasn't going to be able to do wands for my favors. But I found her and she was able to do wands for us, and so there's a bunch of different kinds, but I have a bunch left over because I bought a lot just because I wanted leftover ones. They're so cute, and so what we did was we put them on the barrels outside of the aisle so that when people were going to be seated, they could grab a wand before they sat down. So that people knew that we wanted them to do that, I had one of my bridesmaids make this sign, and it says, "Cast a spell of love and joy throughout the night." So we had that sitting up on the wine barrel, and then with all of the wands on the outside. And my whole plan for this was, our officiant, which is actually my brother Justin, as you guys have met him, he told everyone to raise their wands before we did our first kiss. I knew I wanted to do that for a long time, and I thought that it would be super magical for everyone to get that picture of just like everyone raising their wands in the air and then us kissing, and it was incredible. I'm so happy we decided to do that. So if you guys are gonna get wands, I do suggest giving them out before the end of the night, because it's a lot of fun. And there were some kids at our wedding, and the kids had a lot of fun playing with these wands too, so it was really cool. The nice thing about these ones as well is they're not super big, so if someone just wants to put it in their pocket or anything, they definitely can. It's not something that you just have to carry in your hand all night or be worried about. The next thing I wanted to tell you guys was I said that we were going to be using this book again, which we did. Since Justin was our officiant, he actually had the idea to use this book as, because you know how I think that pastors or whoever usually marries people always has like a book in their hand, like a Bible or a little notebook or something. And so what he decided was that this would be a really cool book to be holding while he was up at the altar and we were doing our vows and everything. And so since there is that little hole in there and all of his notes that he was reading off of was on his phone, he was able to actually just put his phone in this little hole, so it was actually kind of perfect for him to carry. I thought it looked really cute in our pictures too, because you can tell it's a Harry Potter book that he's holding while he's up there and we are exchanging vows. One of the things that we also did was we had a photo booth at our wedding, and so I went onto Etsy again and I tried to find some little props that you could use that were Harry Potter like, because the photo booth came with a bunch of props like glasses and hats and wigs and stuff, but I wanted some Harry Potter ones. And so I found a page that made all these little signs. I, for some reason, cannot find any of them except for this one. But there were a whole bunch of them. There was like the glasses and the lightning bolt, there was a sorting hat, we had the Gryffindor tie, and there was just like a bunch of these little guys on a stick, but I can't find them and I'm really sorry, but this is the only one. So that was really cute too, because a lot of our pictures that people took, we have like a whole booklet of all the pictures that people took in the photo booth. A lot of them had little Harry Potter ones, which I think people really enjoyed using. So they were very cute and I highly suggest getting little props for a photo booth if you're gonna have one. The next things, I actually do not have this anymore. I wish that I did. But I wore, like most brides do, you wear a garter under your dress on your leg. I wanted this one to be really special and I found a Harry Potter themed one on Etsy. It was Ravenclaw themed because Jonathan is a Ravenclaw, so I thought it would be cute to have a Ravenclaw themed since it's his house on my garter. Since Ravenclaw is blue, it was perfect for my something blue, because we all know we need something old, new, borrowed, blue, whatever. So it was new and also blue. Well, I wore that, and that was actually the same garter, which I kind of regret doing this, but it was the same garter that he did take off and throw into the crowd. And one of the groomsmen got it, and so he has it. So I don't have it anymore. Another thing that we decided to do was we had a table in the back of the wedding where kind of your gifts are. So we didn't ask for gifts, we just, we had like a honeymoon fund. And so we had set up a little bird cage for people to put letters in. And then if anyone did bring gifts, there was a table for that. On that table, we also incorporated some little things. So I put some signs. My friend had made me this beginner's wand guide when it shows all the spells and the motions and stuff of what to do with your wand when you're casting that kind of spell. So I actually put all those little props on the table along with a picture of me and Jonathan when we were in the Wizarding World, just so, and that was just kind of in the corner and I just thought it was cute. We needed stuff for that table to kind of dress it up, and I just figured it'd be easier for me to just use my Harry Potter stuff because I didn't have to buy anything new, and then it could also incorporate more Harry Potter. My last two favorite things that we did. A long time ago, before I was even engaged, I had seen these bouquets online that were made out of books, and I ended up finding one on Etsy, and it is absolutely stunning. I have never seen a bouquet this beautiful before in my entire life. So I walked down the aisle with a book bouquet, and it looks like this. Obviously I'm going to be doing a close-up, but it is a Harry Potter book that is made into this bouquet, and then it has this string at the bottom of it that's like a twine? I don't know. You guys, this is so gorgeous. I got so many compliments on this bouquet because no one had ever seen something like this before. I had never seen something like this before. I had never seen or been to a wedding of someone who had a book bouquet like this. And I definitely am a unique person with the things that I like and things that I like to do. So I think that having something that was this unique was very special to me and something that needed to be done for my wedding. It is absolutely beautiful, and just for, I don't know if she always does this, but just for like free, she added in a little boutonniere for Jonathan to wear. So he got a little flower that he was able to clip onto his suit, and it was also the Harry Potter book. So we wore these down the aisle, and then we took pictures with these, and we took pictures with our normal flowers. I also had purchased a actual real flower bouquet as well, and that was one of the ones that I threw during the bouquet toss, because obviously your girl is not gonna throw this or get rid of this. This is like my prized possession, and it is just the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. Even if you don't do any of these other little things, or you want to have even more of a Harry Potter wedding than I did, I suggest getting a book bouquet no matter what. If you're gonna do any of this stuff, it's this, because this is the most beautiful thing. And she also sells them without all these gems on it. I really wanted the pearls and stuff because I have wore earrings that had pearls connected to it, so that was kind of the look I was going for, and these just matched up perfectly. These looked actually very similar to my earrings, just like all these gems that just happened to work out that way. So I very much recommend getting a book bouquet. And she has lots of other books, so if you're obsessed with something else that's not Harry Potter, you can still get a book bouquet. It can be whatever book you want, which is really cool. So we are down to my favorite item of the wedding, which I'm sure you guys know I saved the best for last, and that is my wedding dress. Ever since the Deathly Hallows movie came out with Bill and Flora's wedding, I had mentioned earlier the black and white dress. I knew from that second that when I got married one day, because when that movie came out, me and Jonathan weren't even together yet, I knew once I saw her dress that one day I would be wearing a black and white wedding dress. I wanted one that looked identical to hers, and I had been looking forever to I always just was curious to see if they had ever created something like that, and they didn't. So, and even if they did, I'm sure I wouldn't be able to afford it because it was probably so expensive. I saw some people had made dresses like that online, but I didn't want to make my dress. I don't do that. I needed to find a dress that was black and white, and honestly there are not that many options for this type of dress with this style and the look I was going for. There's a few that I found, but nothing that was like perfect yet, and then I finally found it. So there were two dresses actually. They could have both been perfect, but I ended up picking the one that I did, which I'm going to be showing you guys today. I found my dress that looked like Fleur Delacour's, and I am so happy that I did. It was the star of the night, was my dress. The amount of compliments and just like the shock factor that that dress gives off when I was walking down the aisle, because we didn't do a first look and I didn't let anyone see me before the wedding besides just my wedding party and my close family, because we got some pictures done before. So when I walked down the aisle, it was one of those things where it's just like boom. It was amazing, and I absolutely love the dress. Actually, I have it right here for you guys because I'm going to show you guys. I have not seen this dress since the wedding day. I've just had it like packed up. I haven't even gotten it cleaned. That's how bad I am. This dress is by Maggie Sodero? I don't know if I'm saying her name right. It has been discontinued, but Allure has a black and white dress that is kind of similar. It's even more intense than my dress was, and it was one that I had originally tried on first and really loved, but I ended up switching and going with this one. So I can actually link that Allure dress down for you guys if someone is interested in having a dress that is similar to Fleur Delacour's. These are the best ones that I have found. Alright you guys, that was all the Harry Potter stuff that we incorporated into our wedding. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and if you are someone who is planning a wedding right now and needed some Harry Potter inspiration for their wedding, I hope this video helped you. I kind of knew what I wanted going into my wedding, so I had a checklist of Harry Potter things that I for sure wanted, and I'm so happy that I went through and got all of those things. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see new videos weekly that are mostly Harry Potter related. I'll see you guys next week with a new video. Bye!